I think if I had to pick a single major event which changed the course, or albeit temporarily, of what we were doing, it was probably the Citizenship by Investment program. I don't know, it's probably not a popular one to raise, but I mean, we worked with that program in a very fast and very focused way, and we used it to, you're talking about industry in generally and events in the country and so on. So we used it to trigger a particular major step forward in our business. It enabled us to do that. It enabled us to do it in a period of COVID depression. It enabled us to do it on an area of our land which was not the most obviously attractive area of the land. So we were able to take advantage of highway frontage, and we were able to use the program to successfully develop a very important piece of infrastructure. So for me, that was, without getting into the sort of emotions of whether or not this is a good way to promote real estate in Montenegro, it was definitely a major event. I think, interestingly, I'm not sure what the general sort of feeling is, but I've actually had more contact this year with government, and I've had more positive contact this year with government than I've had in the last 10 years. Not to say that we haven't had positive in the past, but I think I sensed actually a greater engagement, which I know not everybody has, but and I also heard a lot of things this year which made me very positive about the future. Now, that's not materialised into some of the steps that we hoped would happen this year, most notably the concessioning of the airports, which has to be, the single biggest event on our horizon after the prospect of Europe. But unfortunately, that was one that we thought we would enjoy this year, and we haven't been able to. I mean, this will be immense news internationally, for sure. So prior to that, I think, we've stepped up hugely our involvement in maritime leisure and the marine industry. We've obviously redeveloped and opened a shipyard. We're now a very diverse group of companies and activities, and our increased engagement with the marine leisure and administrative environment has also been a big change. Now, we did, for instance, secure a commercial license for our marina, and I know this is not a generic step which everybody sort of can see the benefit of, but I think it demonstrated the willingness of that particular ministry and of the government at that time to understand what it would mean for us to be able to bring new international brands and partners to the country. So as a result of that, we anticipate becoming, a major stop on the itinerary for Four Seasons, for Orient Express, and soon for Ritz-Carlton in terms of their new fleets of yachts. Now, that's a big step for us. It takes a long time. It took me 6 years to get the commercial license. That's the bad side. And having done that, it's a long time coming, but it's on a global stage, and certainly on a European-wide stage, it will be a major landmark event for tourism when eventually that starts happening in 2026. So I think it's not been. There have been some difficult challenges as well. Of course, changes in taxation, the loss of the ability of our investors to treat their real estate investments as any other investment equipment would be, not being able to recover VAT on real estate if you are a stone cold investor in that real estate, I think was a negative, unfortunately, for us, and it's having a lasting effect on the attractiveness of the environment for people to invest in real estate. Fortunately for us all, the growth has still been quite good and has probably outstripped the negative. So every week there are milestones over my 10 years, but the positive highlights have been in marine and in the CBIP program, and I would dearly love to see that program thought about hard, reshaped, made more acceptable to those who weren't happy about it, and reintroduced in some way. many other countries are still doing that, and they've gone through a program of finding out how to do that in a way that's politically and socially acceptable to people, and I think that would be something important here. So yeah, I think those are for me, those are the major milestones that I've experienced. Few, but quite important, actually.
Thank you.